Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mary Budesheim, and this is the second episode of the Mary Patriot News podcast. I hope to have a great show for you today. I just would like to talk about Kavanaugh and the rule of law, and I'd like to introduce you to some of my favorite people, including Mark Levin of Levin TV, and he's also on Fox News, and just a few other people as well. The left cannot continue to destroy lives, livelihoods, our Constitution, our country, our rule of law, all of it.
Hello, America. I'm Mark Levin. This is Life, Liberty, and Levin, a special edition. We're going to go through the 30-year history of the Democrat Party's effort to destroy the judicial confirmation process and address its latest victim. I said victim, Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
Mark Levin is one of my absolute favorite people. He's at least a 7-time New York best-selling author, constitutional attorney, and he was the president of the prestigious Landmark Legal Foundation, the editor-in-chief of Conservative Review, host of the syndicated radio show, The Mark Levin Show, and he's the founder of CRTV, Conservative Television. And he has his own show on CRTV called Levin TV. And he's also on Fox News. And on Fox News every Sunday night, he has a show called Life, Liberty, and Levin. This man is stellar. If there's anyone that I can recommend that you follow, America, it is Mark Levin. And CRTV is where you want to start. You want to cut the cord on that cable and get to CRTV. That's CRTV.com. Mark's latest book is called Rediscovering Americanism and the Tyranny of Progressivism. That was a fantastic book. It should be in each and every classroom. It should be in each and every school. We should be teaching Americanism again.
Character assassination on Judge Robert Bork, one of the smartest lawyers ever, one of the greatest professors ever, a tremendous circuit court judge, just smeared on the floor of the United States Senate. This began the process where Kennedy, Joe Biden, Dick Durbin, Patrick Leahy, and others, many of whom are still around, serving in the Senate, unleashed this unprecedented, historically unprecedented attack on a nominee. And they weren't done. A few years later, after the hearings were done in the Clarence Thomas case, they struck again with Anita Hill. And here's what Clarence Thomas had to say about that at the time. Go.
Unequivocally, uncategorically, that I deny each and every single allegation against me today that suggested in any way that I had conversations of a sexual nature or about pornographic material with Anita Hill, that I ever attempted to date her, that I ever had any personal sexual interest in her, or that I in any way ever harassed her.
Now let's stop right there. Notice, America, the Democrats today keep talking about old white men who dared to raise questions, that is, Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee, about the latest accuser. Well, there's Clarence Thomas. He's no old white man.
This makes you want to just your blood boils. Democrats, do you realize the left? Do you realize this is exactly the nonsense that America is tired of? We are patriots. And let me tell you about patriots. American patriots. We get up every single day, and no matter what is going on, we do what we need to do to take care of our family and our responsibilities. We love our country, we're very patriotic people, and we know what's going on behind the scenes. Patriots pay attention, especially those of us who believe in God. We know what's going on. I am a woman, I live in New York. I should fit the Democrat playbook, but I don't. Why? Because I have seen the fruits of their labor. That's why. I encourage kids. I tell them about how great our country is.
The left tries to generalize these hearings to try and make you believe that they stand for minorities, that they stand for women, that they stand for equal rights. Let me tell you something. They stand for a post-constitutional America. They stand for big centralized government. They stand for an all-powerful Supreme Court, and they will never, ever willingly let go.
People like me are very dangerous, and I'll tell you why. I am not afraid of you. God has a plan and a purpose for each and every one of us. God loves us very, very much. Candace Owen talks about having a victor mindset. That's one of the reasons why I love her. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got to get rid of these people in office that are mean-spirited. These people are driven by an ideological obsession for power and wealth. They are not driven because they love this country. Give me someone who really loves our country, and even if they stumble for a year or two because they need to get their feet wet and know what's going on around them, I prefer someone like that in office who has a passion for our country, who has a passion for our people, that they cannot help but shine. They cannot help but do the right thing. That's the type of person I want to see in office.
Welcome back. Judge Brett Kavanaugh, judge for 12 years, 6 background checks, all kinds of media examination, left-wing groups in the shadows trying to find reasons to destroy him. Found nothing. An accuser comes forward after the hearings are over. She doesn't know where the event she claims took place. She doesn't know when the events exactly took place. She doesn't know if there's corroborating witnesses or really any sort. The information is really almost completely lacking. And yet we are to believe the accuser, otherwise you hate women. Nobody hates women. We hate what the Democrats are doing to our country.
Senator Mazie Hirono, the Democrat from Hawaii, said on Sunday she plans to question Brett Kavanaugh about drinking and partying. I cannot believe this woman. You have the audacity to tell men to shut up. This is one of the things that drives me nuts about the left. It is not right that you lash out at men. It is inappropriate and nasty. We're America. We're not Europe. Our men have a backbone, and they will continue to have a backbone, and they will have people who support them, and they will have people who stand up for them. Ladies, I love you. I have such high respect for you. I care about you. I care about your children. I want to see you succeed, but I refuse to destroy another man's life.
She said that young Kavanaugh molested and assaulted her, and he says that he didn't. There was a witness in the room who has never been subjected to a proper investigative effort of any kind. He has not been interviewed. He has never said anything under oath.
Let's stop. Nor has she. Nor has she. And she's the accuser. Go ahead.
There were supposedly other boys. There's a whole investigative process that can and should take place. And you know what? This is such bad practice that even if they were to ram this guy through, as soon as Democrats get gavels, we're going to want to get to the bottom of this. You can't ignore a crime victim's claim that something happened.
Hold on. How do we know she's a crime victim?
Here's a question. Do Democrats have a double standard when it comes to the Me Too movement? The woman accusing Democratic Congressman Keith Ellison of domestic abuse thinks so, and she wants to know why she's being smeared while Judge Brett Kavanaugh's accuser, to some, is being celebrated.
Congressman Keith Ellison, deputy chairman of the Democratic National Committee and a candidate for Minnesota Attorney General, has denied allegations that he abused his ex-girlfriend. Tonight, Karen Monahan is speaking on camera for the first time about an incident she says happened nearly 2 years ago. She sat down with Jerika Duncan.
44-year-old Karen Monahan says in September of 2016, she and her then-boyfriend, Minnesota Democratic Congressman Keith Ellison, got into a heated argument that scared her.
I was still in bed, and I was laying across the bed on my stomach. I was listening to my podcast, and he walked in. He said, "I need you to take the trash out." And I kept, because I was on my stomach, I heard him and I just went like that and shook my head. And he looked at me, goes, "Hey, you hear me?" And then he looked at me, he goes, "Bitch, get the out of my house." And he started trying to drag me off the bed. That's when I put my camera on to video him.
Monahan says she saved the video on her computer. This past Saturday, Monahan's 25-year-old son, Austin, posted a message on Facebook saying that in the middle of 2017, he found the video, almost 2 minutes long, showing Keith Ellison dragging his mother off a bed and telling her to get out of his house.
The Democrat Party has hijacked the judicial nomination process over the last 30 years. That their left-wing groups have hijacked the judicial nomination process from the American people. And they may let a justice through here and there who's nominated by a Republican, but the fact of the matter is they are going to crush anybody who they believe might change the balance of power. What are we talking about here? We're talking about Republican presidents like Donald Trump who are nominating people who want to follow the Constitution, people who want to adhere to the Constitution. Now, the left talks about judicial precedent. You got to follow judicial precedent. They don't mean it. If there's judicial precedent they don't agree with, they blow it off.
Folks, we have to get Kavanaugh in office. And if for no other reason than because it's the right thing to do, because he and his family are the victim here of all the nonsense. The Kavanaugh family are the victim. So I wholeheartedly believe that Judge Kavanaugh has the character that we need in America to be on the Supreme Court. I don't think that he's ideologically possessed.
Now, the Democrats and their surrogates in the media are fond of saying that a president shouldn't nominate anyone to the Supreme Court in the last year, right, of their presidency, unless, of course, they're Barack Obama. You see, the rules change with the Democrats. Filibuster, don't filibuster, do filibuster. Don't nominate in the last year of a president, do nominate in the last year of a president, don't nominate in the last year of president. Just depends who the president is. So their principles are very negotiable because they have none. Exhibit 5, go.
It is my view that if a Supreme Court justice resigns tomorrow or within the next several weeks, or resigns at the end of the summer, President Bush should consider following the practice of a majority of his predecessors and not name a nominee until after the November election is completed.
Thank you so much for spending time with me, and to support me, please go to marypatriotnews.com, click on the Donate Now button, and you can give as little as $1. Whatever you can give is fantastic. Anything to help to be able to offset the cost of sustaining this website and the work that I do. Thank you so much, and God bless.